So a little review. Do you remember how to graph a log graph directly? Do you know its shape? So I have log base 8. Every single basic log graph has the point 1, 0. How would you know that? Well, if you plugged in 1 for x, you're asking, what exponent do you need to have for something to equal 1? The exponent has to be 0, right? Anything to the 0 is 1. And this would be true if the base was 8, the base was 7, the base was 2, the base was 5. So every single basic log graph with no transformations will always have 1, 0. Then the second one is easy because you ask yourself, what number would I have to put in here that I could easily do an 8 to an exponent? Right, that's an easy exponent to do. Anything to the 1 is what it was to begin with. So if I plug in 8, I'm going to get 1. If the base was 5, can you see that you would have the point 5, 1? The base was 3, you'd have the point 3, 1. So all log graphs are going to have 1, 0, and all log graphs are going to have their base, 1. Exponential graphs always had a horizontal asymptote at x equals 0. Logarithm graphs, at y equals 0. Logarithm graphs always have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. And the basic shape of your log graph goes through your 2 points like an exponential graph flipped over the line y equals x. There is our basic log graph. And then we're going to do all the transformations we did in our transformations unit with log graphs as well. Now, first of all, in B, identify the intercept. So here is, I'll just point it out. There's our x-intercept, 1, 0. There is no y-intercept. We've got our only asymptote is at x equals 0. And this question is asking us also to find the domain. And in logarithms, you can never take the logarithm of 0, and you can never take the logarithm of a negative number. This is important. Maybe we'll write it out as a sentence. You cannot take the logarithm of 0 or a negative number. And if you want to see why this happens, is to try it. Let's try it. Log 8 of 0, which is really asking, right, as a question mark, it's really asking 8 to what exponent equals 0? Try. It's pretty hard to put an exponent in there that makes it equal to 0. Okay? You might say, well, what about 0? Well, 8 to the 0 is 1. Okay, so it's not 0. It's obviously not going to be any number bigger than 0, like 8 to the 2, 8 to the 3, that's never going to equal 0. So then you try negative numbers, and if you tried negative 3, well, a negative exponent, right? What is 8 to the negative 3 is the same as 1 over 8 to the 3. And if you have a fraction, The only way a fraction's ever equal to 0 is if your numerator is 0, but now my numerator is always 1. So it never works out that way as well. You can also never take the logarithm of a negative number. Why? Well, let's try. Log 8 of negative 2. Again, this is asking, put that question mark in there. I'm asking if I can make a power equal to a negative number. Well, positive exponents just make it bigger. Negative exponents never make it negative, right? A negative exponent just changes it to the bottom of your fraction, and you still have positive numbers. Exponential functions are always positive. And because of that, you can never take the log of a negative number. The range of a logarithmic function is everything. And if you think about its inverse, the inverse of this one would be y equals 8 to the x, right? An exponential function has a domain of everything, but a range that's only positive. Y is bigger than 0. Okay, so now, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Now, just get you to circle 7A